Hey guys, this is Tibbs with from Purple Newbie Juice. I just came off a live stream with Gone Diggin' and a bunch of guests and learned some stuff tonight. This is a not a very typical video, but it's basically of some of the stuff I've been doing, and I'd like to share it with you guys. I mentioned that I had a Fisher F-22. It's my first machine. I've had it for probably about a year now. And hunted my yard, which is a 1917 home. I did manage to find a 1943 Mercury head dime. I gave it to my daughter's boyfriend. He collects silver. Um, and after that, I didn't find another coin. I think one wheat pack coin. Matter of fact, these are all the coins I have found. Every single, well, probably 99% of them since I've been digging, and believe it or not, no Wheaties. My pride of finds as far as um, historical value is this Indian head penny, which I believe is in 1885. And boy, was I excited to find this. It was my first permission ever. The guy was out, leaf blowing or something, and I approached him, really nice guy, and he gave me permission to do his field. Now, this is right in line on the General Knox Trail. It's actually on the General Knox Trail. Henry Knox was a 19-year-old in the Revolutionary War that took cannons from Fort Ticonderoga through Lake George, New York, and followed the trail down to bring these cannons to Boston, and basically to scare off the British from attacking. And it got rid of like 10,000 English men that were down in Boston, sent them back to England and or Britain or whatever, and it really pissed off the king, and he sent 30,000 or 40,000 troops. Anyways, it's a really neat history story, and I found this right on the trail. Now I know this isn't a revolutionary, but up the road from there is a 1730s tavern, which my boss is trying to get me permission to hunt. He knows the guys. Actually a Mass Mutual CEO. He's very wealthy, and it was visited by General Knox and his troops on the way down to Boston, and they spent the night, and it was a pretty interesting story. And if he can get me in there, I'm going to be all excited, and I'd love to take somebody with me that has a little bit more experience, because at the moment I found out that my Fisher 22 is, a good starting detector, entry level detector, but it isn't something that's going to have much depth to it, I think. Uh, Although I've made out pretty good on some of these finds, a lot of it came from my property. My brother owns an 1830s, I believe, house that he thinks was moved from up the street down to where it is now. But I didn't find much there. I did find this little medallion, and whoops, and there it goes. This little medallion, and it was a Kellogg's 1940s to 50s Kellogg's, I believe, a toy badge that came in the cereal boxes. It started raining out really bad. I kind of quickly went through his lawn to find a 1980 quarter, but I mean, this property's been there. It was a farm. He had two big silos, a huge barn, and that's another place that I need to detect. It has been detected before, but he's been living there well over 20 something years, and he hasn't had it detected since, except for me, which that's all I found, along with a couple, I think a dime and a quarter. Um, and to get back to some of my better finds, my only finds really, I found this truck on my property up on the hill, and I believe this is, oh man, I can't remember. I think it's 1960s. Um, Matchbox. It starts with an L. Lesky. I don't know if you can read that. Let me see. I can't. I need my super duper glasses, but I'm sure, or I believe you guys can read it. I can't tell if it's upside down. But anyways, one of the wheels came off, and I kind of put it back on, and somehow it attached itself, which I will be very careful with. And it actually still flips up. Whoops, and there goes everything. So, let me find my stuff real quick. I want to find my Okay, we got everything back on the counter. Little thing here. Okay, on my yard, I also came across, which scared the heck out of me, is this. This is a 59 bank. But I tell you, being steel, being buried in the backyard up on a hill and seeing those rocket fins, I didn't know if it was a mortar or not. And then when I saw this red button and the springs, scared the heck out of me. I didn't think it was going to be unstable. Like I said, my house was built in 1917. But this actually turned out to be a bank. And what you do is you put a coin right in here, and you would have pulled it down and pushed the button, and it would have went up into that groove. And it was a marketing gimmick to rocket your savings. And like I said, I believe this is 1950, 59, somewhere in that era. But it's pretty cool. It looks like it's been shot up with BBs. The guy that owned the house prior to me was a fanatic, World War II fanatic. He loved building planes and boats and models of sort and all. This might have been part of his collection, and he ended up his daughter might have taken it out with a bunch of friends and shot it up in the backyard, and that's how it ended there. And also, on my property, I found this little medallion. It's to some kind of flooring covering company. This is a 1920, I believe. That's the brand name. And what it is, they used to sell it with the product as a promotional item. And this is Thai Cob. It's pretty cool. And just to check its value, I went on eBay and found one just like it, and found it was from the 1920s, and I thought it was really, really cool. And I'm going to hang on to that. Did find some of these buckles, and right here we have everybody's favorite, a shell, and these things sound so good. And probably any detector. This is a hot rock. I kept it because, watching so many videos and hearing about them, it's got some weight to it for a little guy. And I collected rocks, bottles as a kid, stamps. I love geology. I went out and found some garnets in there. I still have the garnet, but I can't find the little piece of sandstone that it was formed in. I thought was really, really cool, and I always was a rock hound. I watch you guys dig in and see you find silver, and I hear this giant inner gasp, like, whoa, and I thought that was like kind of being a put on, and then I went and dug my first silver ring, and I actually gasped the same way and started laughing because I thought it was so funny that it's a true reaction. It happened to be a silver ring. It was two hands holding a heart, and it's some type of Irish friendship ring, and I gave it to my daughter. And then I found this ring, which I thought was silver. I found it in the same park, close to the Westfield River. It has a turquoise in it, and I believe that might have been an opal of sort. I know they're not very durable stones, but there's no markings inside. It doesn't have a ton of weight, but it sure does look like silver. I found this I don't know if it's glass or porcelain or what, but that came up probably next to one of my other finds, and I just held on to it. I got this ring. It's just a bling ring at the town hall here in the town I live in. I found some pretty recent clad there, nothing fancy. I did get permission from my neighbor to do his lawn. He has the same house built the same year, and it's state of Massachusetts ring. It's just, I think, copper and some maybe gold gilt or something that might have been on it at one time. But it was a pretty cool find. I was excited. I've only been metal detecting for about a year. I do have this, I forget what they call these things. It's some type of a baling tag of some sort. I can't remember what's on this. See if I can bring you in. And I thought it was kind of cool. It has a star on it. But that was a find down in a launch area. And I found a lot of clad down there, but nothing really significant. And this thing, which looks like some kind of tool of sort, it has some wording on it, but I don't think it's very old. And but I kept it anyways, and a couple dog tags. I went up the street from that 1730s site, and I found in the woods. I videotaped it, but for some reason I messed up because I was using my camera and I was taking pictures and documenting a whole bunch of stuff, and it really didn't turn out too well because they were pictures. So it's a shotgun shell, Remington, I believe. I forget what it said. I should have been a little bit more prepared before doing this, but anyways, it has the paper that held the shot and all the gunpowder and everything on it. So I believe this is later, but it's not really all that old. Probably 50s, maybe. It might be a little older. I'm not sure. And I also found this little purse, and it actually opens up, but using one hand. I'm using my phone again because my other camera is charging right now. But it's a little purse, outer rim thingamajigger. So other than this, this really cool penny, Indian head penny, which is the thrill of my detecting experience so far, I haven't found too much. Today I went out down by the river, and I live in a town where there's a river, and the floods took out a lot of the roads, and 36, I believe, and 55, and a lot of the railroad stations and towns and lawns and everything were all eroded away and had to be refilled, rebuilt. And I figured, somewhere along the line, there's got to be all that stuff that was in the ground somewhere along this river. So I went down to this pull-off. I tried recording. It was too hard to dig, and it probably would have been boring. But I did find this. It says Presto on it, the mason jar lid, and it has a genuine porcelain, it says on the inside, with a number 3 mason jar cover, which I believe that's what it is. It's different from others that I've seen that actually have a hole up top here. It doesn't have the hole, so I don't think it's all that old. It's probably newer than a lot of the ones you normally see, but I think the insert, the ceramic insert, or porcelain insert, is pretty cool. I also have a lot of the stuff I've found, the the junk. And this coffee jug is just filled to the tilt with it. Springs and lids and wire and nails, some square nails, just a lot of junk. And I also tried dabbling into prospecting. I watch a lot of prospecting videos, hunting gold, and I ordered on Amazon 3 or 4 different gold dirt to pan to see, if I could do it, and I got pretty good at it. And this is what I found. I believe it's somewhere around a half a gram of gold. There's one really nice picker in there. You can kind of hear it bouncing around. But also, I ordered 3 or 4 different types of panning pay dirt, including, I feel really embarrassed, this one you're looking at here. And I was all excited. I'm like, look how much dirt I got. This is going to be great. And I opened it up, and it's, I wouldn't say a gimmick, but it's a pretty smart way of selling your stuff. I could have returned it. It actually was like $40, and it's a granular scent attractant for deer. I do not hunt. I could go out there and sit there, but as soon as I looked into the eyes of the deer, I wouldn't. I couldn't kill another animal. And this, there's also a famous quarry around here that dealt with green, and I don't know if you could tell the color, green granite. And a lot of the stone down in Boston in the buildings they used this granite to build a lot of the inside decorations and the outside walls, and it's really cool stuff. I don't know if this is, I don't think this is granite. It might be, but this, I have the other rock in the car. This thing fired up my detector like no tomorrow, and I heard that gold is naturally in granite. So, I took the rock home, I chipped it open a little bit, and it's, there's nothing like it, thinking you found gold. It's, and it's not the value of gold. I mean, sure, that makes it exciting, but I still have yet to pan my my own nugget, flake, or anything. I do have a bunch of equipment that I purchased. I have some moss, miner's moss, and I got the pans and the magnets and the different things to do all the processes other than a sluice or a dredge. But I will get the time to go out there and see if I can't find it. I am in Massachusetts, and there's only Glacier Till Gold, I believe, although up in a town up from here, there supposedly was a mine which was pretty active, and they did have some gold. And further up to another town, more north, there was actually a quarry that was doing backfill, and they filled up all these bridges that are on the main road, the main highway, and the quartz was high grade gold was in it. They didn't know it, and I think they made a mistake, or they thought they made a mistake by actually publishing that information, and now they said it was put to the side and it was lost in the quarry. But I don't think they want people going to all the different bridges and digging up all the rocks that they used to retain the bridges and the backfill and all that stuff. But anyways, this is my experience with the Fisher F-22. I do love the machine. I try to take care of it. It's only a $200 machine, and it's been pretty successful so far. My what I'd like to save up for is going to be possibly the Equinox 800, because that has the frequencies, I guess, to find gold. I watched some of the YouTubers out there use them, and they have found little pieces of gold nugget with them, and they're very sensitive, and they go underwater, which will help on some of the adventures that I want to take. And I wanted to do this video because I just recently posted my first metal detecting video. I'm not very computer savvy. I used to have a YouTube channel a long time ago. I had access to a computer that had a editing, filmmaking program on it, and I've yet to be able to download one that I can actually edit. So I did this video for you guys just to kind of give you a heads up, and I will eventually get an editor, and we'll go from there. But hey, it's Tibbs out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you do. If you don't, that's fine too. I appreciate any kind of spreading the news you can do for me. And we will see you later. Thanks, YouTube. Bye.